Story time on how I found out my best friend of 5 years, my baby's godmother, actually hated me our entire 5 years of being friends. And yesterday, she confessed to me after 5 years she never liked me. She hated my guts the entire time. And why you should vet your friendships just the same way that you vet your relationships. Me and this girl was friends since 2020 during the pandemic, like early 2020. We met on social media. I think it was even 2019. We hit it off real well. We had the same interests, I'll just say that. We didn't officially meet up in person until I moved to Atlanta in 2021 because she lives in South Carolina and I was in New Jersey, New York. So obviously coming to South Carolina was not in the plans. We building a friendship. We're getting real close. I get married in 2021. She was already married for 2 years when we met. So our husbands met. They got super close. We have this whole family group chat. We all close and da, right? We are like peas in the pod, all of us. I say peas in the pod, I mean families meeting each other, hanging out at each other's houses. We even felt comfortable when we found out we were pregnant in 2022 that they were going to be our new baby's godmother and godfather. So this all is catching me by surprise. Had to give you a little backstory. Yesterday, I get a call, ring, 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 ring. Catches me off guard, completely off guard. Homegirl says, "Hey, I have something to tell you. I've been feeling this way for so long. But mind you, as of recently, I've been telling my husband, I feel like something is off between me and her. Like, you know when you have that feeling, ladies? Like, you know when you know when you know. You have a feeling something is off. But everything kept flying over my head. So she asked, can she call me? We get on the phone. And she's like, all right, I got something to tell you. For the past 4 or 5 years, I've never liked you. I've always been jealous of you. I've always hated you. You can predict. My mouth was like, what? I literally kept saying, what? What? What are you talking about? We were just planning to see each other next month. All of us, our families getting together and having a good time for the holidays. And this is how you were feeling the entire time? But that's not even the half of what she had to say. She goes on to say that she was always praying against the things that I was praying for. So when I was telling her that my husband and I were praying for a baby, and this was 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, when I was telling her these things, she said that she was praying and hoping that we wouldn't conceive. She was praying and believing that when we were pregnant, the baby wouldn't be born. When I was pregnant around 26, 27 weeks, you know, when you get tests for gestational diabetes, I was actually diagnosed with gestational diabetes. I had to retake the test. So, you know, you call your friend, you tell your friend, whatever, hey, pray for me and all these things. Girl said that she was praying that the opposite would happen of what we wanted, which is, of course, for the gestational diabetes to be removed so that I can have a healthy pregnancy. If you know anything about gestational diabetes in itself, you know that that's nothing to play with when you are pregnant at all. So the fact that she found that fun and joyful, and I still called her a best friend, and she knew that this baby was going to be her godchild and she felt comfortable feeling that way, blows my mind. So anyways, the whole time we were on the phone, I'm just listening. I'm just quiet because I'm trying to take in everything that she's saying because I actually can't believe that these things were going over my head. One time while I was pregnant, it was November of 2022 and I was due March 2023. I came to her because I had a feeling like something was off. And again, when you feel something is off, you really need to take heed and pray about whatever it is that you feel is off of your spirit. So I said something was off. I addressed it with her and we agreed that we both can do better as friends. I should have took that as a sign right then and there to dead this friendship. But she assured me that what I was feeling off was not the case. She was genuinely there to be my friend. The same time I felt this way was the same time I had the gestational diabetes and she felt a way about me being pregnant, I suppose. She continued on to say that she's always felt competition between us. Whenever I started my photography business, she felt competition in there. Whenever she seen that we were essentially making money moves, I'll just say it like that, she felt some sort of way about that. So last year, December, November, I don't know if you've seen on my TikTok page, if you scroll down, I shared that we were facing eviction, right? She knew about that and her husband knew about that because we were all close. We're like family. So we're going to the people that we're the most closest to pray for us and to cover us, that of course that we don't end up on the street with a 9-month-old. This girl prayed that we would not have a home to live in. She prayed, she said this out of her own mouth. She was just hoping that we would end up homeless with the 9-month-old that is her godchild, and then still had the audacity to open up her home for us to live there, even though she was feeling these things. She said that it made her feel like they were doing better than us. This is a best friend, somebody that you're confiding in. I was almost like dishing information for her to pray against on me. Better for me wasn't the fact that she didn't like me this whole entire time. It's that I gave her access to my child, the one that I have prayed for to be here, and I entrusted her to come into agreement with me for this baby. But she had a whole separate agenda this entire time of canceling his life, and I entrusted her to be his godparent. I'm gonna leave it here because she says way more. If you want to hear part 2, then let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna just leave one thing for you ladies. Vet your friendships the same way that you are going to vet your relationships. The same way that you're going to pray and seek God about if this is the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. You need to be praying and asking God, is this a friendship I need to be pouring myself out into? You need to pray and ask God for discernment when we're sharing things with friends. Not as women, sometimes we just want to get all close because we like the same things. We like content creation. We all just going to be friends. We like photography. We just all going to be friends. And no, like ask God, what is the kingdom purpose here for our friendship? Is this somebody I'm gonna do life with? Is this somebody I should share my deepest, darkest secrets with? Is this somebody that I can trust with my entire life? Is this somebody I could bring around family? The list goes on. You need to vet your friendships the same exact way that you're gonna be vetting your relationships. And that's one thing that I took away from this, and these things for sure will never happen again. All in all, girl, I'm just excited that God has removed the one thing that I knew was a hindrance in my life, and now I can just move forward with what God has for me in this season. But overall, I just feel like this is all crazy. This is like a movie. I can't believe it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
It's December 2019. I'm in San Antonio, Texas, working on my master's when I go through a pretty bad breakup. So I decided to fly back home to SoCal for the holidays so I can spend Christmas with my family and New Year's Eve with my friends. Or so I thought. Now my family's in LA. My friends are in San Diego because that's where I went to college. And I'm really only going down there to visit 2 people, Brandy, Andrea. Yes, these are their real names. No, I don't care. Brandy and I have known each other since freshman, sophomore year. We laugh, we joke, we always have a great time together. She even moved in with me senior year of college because she had nowhere to go. So I let her stay in my bedroom until we both graduated. I'm gonna stay with her when I get down there. And we are gonna go out New Year's Eve night. Everything should be good. Andrea, on the other hand, much more stuffy, bougie, upper class. On top of that, she has a husband. I'm not trying to have her out all night. We're gonna do brunch on New Year's Day. Plans are set. I post on my Instagram story before I even get down there. Hey guys, I'm gonna be in town. Hit me up if you know any parties. For everybody else that I know down there. I get hit up by somebody that me and Brandy used to call Community Dick. Right? This man was everywhere. He was with me, he was with Brandy, he was with whoever he could get his hands on. Me and Brandy would laugh and joke about it. We really didn't care. So he says, I would love to take you out on New Year's Day for dinner. And I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna call Brandy and ask. I call Brandy, hey girl, so-and-so wants to take me out. Is that cool with you? Because I'm mainly going there to visit her, right? And she was like, oh yeah, like you just went through a breakup, like have him take you out and, you know, buy you some stuff or something. I was like, cool. So of course, we're not going to be together because I live in Texas, right? So he knows that as well. We're all on the same page, or at least I thought we were. When I get down there and we are going out for New Year's Eve, we're looking for clubs and where we want to go. We see him and some of his friends, our friends, mutual friends, in line for a club. I'm like, oh, great. We can just hop in line with them. It'll be perfect. We're driving by. When I tell you she peels off, just skirts out of there. And she's like, I don't want to go there. I'm going to go back up. We drove 45 miles back up to North County, San Diego, so that way we could go to some random bar. And I was like, girl, I don't care. Like, we'll just do whatever you want to do. I'm not pressed about it. She starts buying me drinks. We're having a great time. She buys me like 4 Adios MFers. If you know what that is, then you already know. I throw up in the bar. I apologize. I'm like crying at this point because I'm so upset that this has happened. And we leave. We are gonna go to Denny's so that way we can get some food in our stomach and maybe I can stop throwing up because I continued to throw up in the Denny's parking lot. as I'm doing that, she is like, oh, let me see your phone. I'm going to look up, some things that we can do so that way we can maybe get you to stop throwing up. And I was like, yes, absolutely, go ahead. So she's on my phone for a little bit. She's like, hey, I'm going to go inside. I have to run to the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, sure. She leaves me in the parking lot of the Denny's, extremely drunk, throwing up out of the passenger door alone at like 2 a.m. on New Year's Eve. And finally, she takes 30 minutes in there. So I go inside. I'm sitting at like the waiting area before you get seated for her to get out of the bathroom. I'm leaning. People are asking me. The staff is concerned. Are you okay? Do you need us to call somebody? I'm like, no, my friend's in the bathroom. I'm fine. She finally comes out the bathroom. We get seated at a table. That is where she decides to spill her guts that the man that we call Community Dick, she's secretly in love with him, apparently. And she is so mad at me that he wants to be with me that she took my phone so she could go through it while she was in the bathroom and look through all of our text messages and Instagram DMs and all of that to see what we were talking about. As if we were talking for that long. I just got out of a breakup. I haven't spoken to this man in years. You're looking through stuff from like 2016, 2017. But here she is having this big blow up. She is yelling, screaming at me like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would do this. I'm like, girl, I asked you if this was okay and you said yes. I'm so confused right now. I apologize profusely. I even pay for our food at Denny's. I'm sorry. I did not know it was that big of a deal. If you don't want me to go out with him, just say so. We patch things up. We go back to her place. We go to sleep. We wake up the next day and she's like, you know what? I was a little drunk too. I was tripping. It's not that serious. If you still want to see him, you can see him. It's fine. I'll even drop you off. It's not that big of a deal. I'm like, are you so sure? Because last night was dramatic. And she's like, yeah, everything's fine. So I'm like, okay, we are going to go to brunch with my friend Andrea. Her and Andrea don't even know each other. This is their first time meeting, even though we all went to school together. I'm the mutual friend here. They meet up. I'm like, you guys will like each other. And they did. So much so that they start dogpiling, talking shit about me. Andrea started it, actually. And the backstory on her, she had a miscarriage back in undergrad that she told me about once and then immediately regretted it. And she called me and was like, actually, pretend like I never told you that ever because I never want to talk about it again. And I was like, heard, word. I'm like 20. I don't know what to say in that situation anyway. So perfectly fine with me. So even when I call her to say, hey, I'm going to be down there. Do you want to hang out the day before, December 30th? She's like, that's the anniversary of my child's miscarriage. How could you ask me that? I'm like, I didn't even know when that date was. I am so sorry. And so that's why we plan to hang out on January 1st. On that day at brunch, she's like, by the way, you never called me to give me condolences or say anything on December 30th when you knew it was the anniversary of my child's miscarriage. Excuse me, ma'am? You told me that I was never supposed to talk about that again. You told me to pretend you never told me. And that was years ago. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you wanted me to talk about that ever. And she was like, well, I didn't really, but you still could have been more considerate. Janice, you're so inconsiderate. Then here comes Brandy. Yeah, you're right. Janice is she doesn't care about anybody but herself. And she's just so mean. And this is the reason why she's so vain. They start going in. They are talking so much shit. The waiter is standing there is everything okay? They continue throughout the entirety of brunch. Brandy takes us back home. They're still talking about shit. And we're sitting outside of Brandy's house, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They're having a grand old kiki about how much they can't stand me while I'm sitting in Brandy's car waiting to go upstairs and get my stuff so I can leave. Because obviously neither one of y'all like me for real. So I need to go. So after I go upstairs, grab my stuff from Brandy's, she again apologizes. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry that we were doing that for so long. We just kind of got into a flow of our conversation, but we were just saying that to, give you constructive criticism. It's not that we don't like you or anything. And I was like, sure. She was like, you don't have to leave yet. You can still stay. And I was like, I think I want to go. So, especially because I have my date with Homeboy right now. So I'm like, hey, he's going to pick me up. I'm just going to go out for a little bit because she's like, don't leave. And I'm like, fine. I'm just going to go out with him for a little bit and then I'll be back. So I go out with him. I tell him everything that's going on. He's like, that's so fucked up. Are you good? I'm like, no. No, I'm not good at all. I want to leave real bad, but I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because I believe these are my friends. She calls me in the middle of the day and she's like, actually, I'm so mad that you went out on this date even after I told you that I liked him. Ma'am, what's happening? So then she decides to throw my stuff out of her house, put it on the curb. So then he takes me back to her place, picks my stuff up for me, and he drives me back home to my mother, which was about 2 hours away. So shout out to him for being the only good person in this story. All of that to say, Brandy, Andrea, both of y'all. Okay? I hope that you are somewhere bitter, lonely, and miserable. And for the record, both of these women hit me up afterwards to apologize for the way that they spoke to me and about me. And I let them know, that's a really nice apology. Also, never speak to me again.
I need to get this off my chest. We've all had that one best friend that we thought we would be friends with for the rest of our lives. To the point where you do everything together like you are literally inseparable. And then one day, everything changes. And it could be a falling out, but in my case, we went from being the best of friends to her kind of slowly eliminating herself from my life. And when I communicated with her and asked her why, she told me I was crazy and that I was overthinking it. And then one year, she didn't invite me to her birthday. We always do birthdays together. That's when I knew I had to let her go. 2 years go by. One of her dogs passed away, and that made me really sad because I knew how much that dog meant to her. So of course, me, in my heart, I reach out to her and I say, I'm so sorry. And she did respond and she was like, thank you so much. I'm so upset. You know how much that dog meant to me, blah, blah, blah. Another few months passed, still never heard from her. Then this summer, my father passed away. Not that I was expecting her to console me or be a friend that I can lean on, but I did think that maybe she would reach out to me. She watched all of my stories on Instagram when my dad passed away. Every single one of them. Every single day. And she never reached out. This crushed me so much to the point where I said, I need to unfollow this person. But the crazy part about all of this woman for the last 3 years has watched every single one of my Instagram stories. Every single day. Has never missed a day. Not even one. Why are you watching my life? If you really want to know how I'm doing or what I'm doing, why not text me or call me? If you were upset with me and didn't want me in your life anymore, why are you watching my stories? To the point where I almost want to call her and be like, what the fuck is your problem, bro? Has anyone else experienced this?
You know what sucks? Having someone that you think is your best friend in the whole entire world, and meanwhile, you're their enemy the whole entire time. So recently I went through a really bad friend breakup, or somebody who I thought was my friend. We had been friends, like best friends, almost sisters, for 10 years. And it took me 10 years to realize that she was trying to sabotage me the whole entire time. When we were back in college, I used to think it was like, oh, she's looking out for me because she's like letting me know like who doesn't like me. And she would be like, oh, well, you know, people like don't like you. So I'm like, maybe tone it down a bit. And I'm like, oh, girl, good looking out. Like, okay, let me like be quiet. But then I found out nobody disliked me. It was literally only her. And the only person talking crap about me was her, 2 people, to make it seem like they didn't like me. But it was really her the whole entire time. Then, swear to God, when I got engaged to my husband, she, while I was in the shower, had a whole talk with him and was like, oh, well, you know she slept with this person. And you know she used to be promiscuous. And you know this, and this, and that. What? So, like, I was in shock. But things like this, over the friendship, like there were so many red flags, guys. I really should have like known better, but of course I didn't because I'm stupid and I give too many people chances. But the recent drama, she literally said something so despicable about like me, my marriage, my child to all these people. And then everybody decided to call me. Thank the Lord if you guys called me, like you guys are the real ones for like letting me know what was said. And I finally realized she kept me in her life because she thought I was her competition. She thought I was her enemy. And it literally was like, oh, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. I was the enemy the whole time. Like she thought I was her enemy. Meanwhile, we're not even on the same level. But I say this to say, if you have people in your life where there's red flags or they downplay you in public or they try to make you feel like crap to people or look worse than what you are, or even if people are giving you compliments and they're like, I mean, chill. She's like, not all that, blah, 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 blah. Cut those girls out of your life. Cut those people out of your life. They're jealous of you. Girl, you did not need to go through 10 years of abuse like I did. It's really not even worth it. So please, 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 I beg you, let them go.
There's something worse than a romantic breakup. It's called a friendship breakup. We're gonna call him Jake. We met in 9th grade. We parked next to each other. We shared lunch. He would always bring me snacks and I would say, 2 for me, none for you. And that was our little joke. We were 2 peas in a pod. There was nothing romantic about this friendship. This is a true brother-sister friendship. I was very protective of Jake. I didn't want anybody to be mean to him, make fun of him. I'm the type of friend that I get more mad at a situation that involves my friend than my friend does. I've also been categorized as the mean friend. I will accept that. I tell you the truth. I see through things that maybe you can't see. Call out truths that you don't want to hear. I'm the mean friend, but that's okay. Because I love you. I'd rather take the blame of being the mean friend and if it meant I protected you from a potentially bad situation. Jake wanted to be an interior designer, as he should, because he's very talented. In fact, he is a pretty successful interior designer and good for him. He certainly deserves it. He used to come over to my house and we would rearrange my room, change it up all the time. And my dad was so funny because he's a builder. He would come and he was like, can this door open up? What if there's a fire? And Jake would be like, Mr. Tim, no, it's fine. It's gotta look good. This is interior design, just go. And my dad would be like, oh. I started modeling as soon as I left high school. I moved away. But Jake and I kept in touch all the time. So when I moved to New York, he came to help me decorate my apartment. And that just became an ongoing thing. Whenever I would move to a new apartment, Jake would come out, decorate it. We'd have a fun week wherever town I was living in. He was the person that made me laugh the most, like cry laughing. Certain language that we used, we had our favorite movies, Steel Magnolias, would recite every word. I could always count on Jake to make me laugh. He could always count on me to be a good friend to him and to know that no one was gonna mess with him. At least I hope he felt that way. I flew him out to LA. He wanted the full-blown LA experience. So we went to the Ivy. We had mint juleps. Walked down Melrose. Saw all the people he wanted to see. I wanted to show him the best time. He wanted to go to Vegas. I said, let's go to Vegas. My friend Noah Tepperberg gave us a table at Tao. We had dinner. I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back saying I'm the best friend in the world, because he was also a really good friend. He was always there to listen, put up with all my crazy shenanigans that I would be doing or going through. Always there to lend a laugh and not take life too seriously. He was my comfort person. Jake never really had a lot of girlfriends. Kind of just focused on work. When I came home to visit, he and I would always go out on the town, and that night he met this girl, and we're gonna call her Jessica. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I didn't really care for Jessica. Jessica seemed a little off to me. Jake comes from a good family, a very well-respected family in town. As far as Jessica is concerned, I don't know where she comes from. I still don't. She took a liking to Jake. A couple of months later, Jake and Jessica are going steady. Wonderful. A few months roll by and I remember I was in Ralph's grocery shopping and I get a phone call from Jake. Like, what's up, Jakey? What are you doing, Lily? I have to tell you something. And I'm like, what? I already know. I'm gonna ask Jessica to marry me. What? I'm gonna ask her to marry me. Are you sure about this? This is your first like girlfriend. Are you sure? Yep, I love her. That's what I wanna do. Jake, I really need for you to take some time and really think about this, because this is a big step. I've known you forever and that's definitely not what he wanted to hear. And looking back on it, I can totally understand him being disappointed in my response. I probably would have been on the defense as well. So he gets that. My intentions came from a good place. It came from a place of love and overprotectiveness. It seemed fine to me on the phone. We went about our business. We didn't talk every day, but I'm trying to set up a time for him to come out, get our schedules together. Not texting me back. He's not emailing me back. He's not calling me back. I don't really think much of it because he's busy. He's working and so am I. But then he's really not calling me back. Like, this is strange. I haven't heard from him in like 2 months. I sent him another email. Hey, Jake, I was just seeing if you got any of these pictures. And I got the most horrendous, evil, heartbreaking response you would think I was a piece of trash with what he said. But in all reality, it wasn't what he said. It was what she said, because she wrote the email. And you want to know what it said? Hi, Ashley. I just got back having lunch with my fabulous soon-to-be mother-in-law, and we were just talking about the wedding and how amazing it's going to be. I have decided that I no longer want to be friends with you. Your friendship is not good for me and Jessica. I think that you are a horrible person. I don't know how I was ever friends with you, and I don't know how anyone would ever want to be friends with you. I'm gonna pray for you, and I hope you find some peace in your heart, and hopefully find someone and make yourself as happy as Jessica is making me. Don't contact me again. I never want to speak to you again. Jake. Oh yeah? You know that feeling you get when your body gets hot, your ears start ringing? Really happening? Is this real life? That was the feeling I got. But I was calm, so I just simply wrote back, good luck with your life. I started thinking about it, and then I got pissed, because how dare he? How dare her? Who does she think she is? So I called and called. Of course, Jake doesn't answer because he's scared, because he already knows what's about to be on the other end, because he knows he's in the wrong for this. Finally, I send a message. That's a nice email that your soon-to-be wife wrote, because obviously you don't write like this and you don't speak like this. So if she has something to say, please give her my phone number. I'd be happy to talk to her about it too, but I know that she won't, because that's the kind of person she is. She's scared, just like you. Just allowing your new wife to tell you what to do, what to say, who to hang out with, and how to be in your life. And if that's what you choose to do, then our friendship is over. I sound pretty tough, right? I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried for years. That interaction broke me. It broke my heart. It shattered me, because I had lost my best friend for my whole life. Just like that, I think what hurt me most is the fact that he was able to cut off our friendship so fast and not even have a conversation with me to say, listen, it really hurt me that you said this. I love this person and you're my best friend. And he didn't. He chose to just give up on our friendship because I didn't mean that much to him. He meant more to me than I meant to him. And that's okay. And I know that now, but then I didn't know it. Devastated for years. These cryptic messages celebrating with my real friends, and it's like she just completely took over his body. And this is not me hating on the girl. That girl is irrelevant. He was the one that meant so much to me in my life as a friend. There was never anything romantic between Jake and I, and everybody knew that. She knew that too. What she also knew is that I knew what kind of person she was. She didn't like that. So what do? You get me out of the picture. We have not spoken since then. Did I used to miss his friendship? Yeah, I did a lot. Do I miss it now? No, because I know what kind of friend I am, know what value my friendship is. I am there for you, always willing to talk about things and work things out, because I never want to hurt my friends, ever. I do understand where he came from. I would have been the same way, but I also would have had a conversation if I wanted to save the relationship. So at the end of the day, he didn't want to save the friendship, and that's fine. I don't have to worry about someone just being friends with me for certain reasons, or using me. Friend break is hard, and if anybody tries to tell you it's not, they've never been through it. And I hope y'all never have to go through it. Friend breaks also are good. My mother is so funny. She's still working hard up there. Even after she's passed, she's brought me back with a lot of friends that fizzled out through the years. But she did not bring me back to Jake, because Jake wasn't worth it. So just know that friend breaks happen. It's okay to feel your feelings, but also know your worth. And don't let anybody make you feel less than. All about talking it out, getting your feelings out. And if you're on the receiving end of that, be open-minded, listen, and try to work it out. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. Life is too short not to be around the people that you love. The universe will weed out those that should not be in your life.